members, especially coach chapter, to enhance and develop their communication skill by joining this SSP coach chapter Toastmasters. We have our president club, Mr. Jamaluddin Sheikh, and the team members are there. Also, we have a founder team member, Mr. Sunil Sadanan. You can contact to the team members and you can join it, this club. Next. We have another opportunities for our team members.
Just 1 minute, Mr. Ifam.
Yeah.
I request all of you, there is a lot of parallel noise coming in, which is not so much pleasing. So I request you people to mute for some time. When question answer or anything will come, you can unmute yourself and speak up. But just to control the pleasant conversation.
Yeah, I would
just
like
to control
request
this
all team participants to mute yourself, so there will be no any background noise. Thank you, Mr. President. We have upcoming events, like we are going
Ramana, have we lost Mr. Abul Ifam?
Yeah, hello. It's okay.
Yeah, now it's okay. Now it's okay.
Yeah, so we have upcoming events and we are going to organize our 11th PDC International Development Conference. It will be in the month of November. So it is encouraged to all companies and professional to participate on it. We have a different type of activities and like submission of abstracts and participation as a speaker and organizing some of the booths over there. So it will be a very good event. You are requested to pass this message to your colleague, friends, and the professionals, as well as the HSC vendors who are here in Kuwait and outside of this. We have also our ASSP-GCC HSC Excellence Award. It is very good time to us that we have to show our information, what we have did in our projects or in the company. The best practice says we can submit through this, and then it will be awarded, it will be encouraged, and then that will be good for the professional as well as the organization. So it is also further encouraged by us that you can pass this message, you can participate in this GCC Excellence Award 2022. There are different categories and you will be awarded according to your submission. We have another upcoming events that could be held in between of 19 to 26th of August. That is a Bosch Hazardous Substances International Certificate course. The code is W505, and we have already selected the batches, and there are some good participation on it. You have also encouraged in future similar courses will be organized. You can attend that. There is another global OSHA 500 construction safety training course that will be going to be held by 22nd till 26th of August. It is a very good course and it is a global course, and that will be good for the professionals who are looking in the field of training. They can be encouraged to participate on it. They can be external means a trainer outside of the US, and they can be utilize this session. We have another session going to be held on 27th of August. That will be a face-to-face meeting, and that is a very good time to learn about how to use a respirator, and there is a respiratory fit test. So our provider and vendor, I would like to thanks to 5M who are going to organize and going to be
Zoom है
Okay, so you are requested to be participate on it. It will be in Suk Sabha Fahil chapter office, which was in the Kohinoor basement in Fahil Suk Sabha. So you are encouraged to share this message to all professionals to participate as much as, and you are also invited to join this face-to-face respiratory session. We have also a competition which is going to organize our outreach team, and we have appreciation to the team members and head committees who are means organizing such type of events. That event is going to be a very good events, and then we can encourage to our kids up to the age of 18. They can participate in the safety poster competitions, and it is going to be announced soon by end of this August. We have another session, PSM technical meet will be 26, and that will be 21st of September in coming months. Then and you are means encouraged to participate and share with your colleagues and friends. We have a ASP Associate Safety Professional Preparatory Workshop. I would like to appreciate training head and the other team members who are going to organize, especially our professional development committee. It is going to be in the month of August and in between of September. So again, the seats are still free for you. You are encouraged to coordinate our office staff to book your seat, and that will be very good for our profession to be get this type of title, ASP, CSP, CRSP, CMIOS, and it will give you very valued means respect in the market of safety. So you are encouraged to participate in this ASP preparatory workshop. Next. So thank you very much, and I would like to hand over to our desk to our head of the committee, Mr. Arshad Ayub, to say a few words and introduce their speakers and start the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramana and Riaz. First of all, I would like to thank ASSP-KC chapter and also for the today's speakers, Mr. Srinivas, Ganti, as well as Mr. Rizwan. Can you hear me all? I think you can hear me, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You're clear, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for your kind support. Today we are going to have two technical meets presentations. So one from Srinivas, one from Rizwan. First of all, the first presentation will be from Srinivas. He is my close friend, my colleague. We have worked together, and previously he has worked in two consulting companies. One is Cholamandam and Bureau Veritas. Currently, he is a PSM engineer with overall 10 years of experience in KIPIC. So he accepted our invitation to present his presentation today on this topic. This is the speaker's introduction for the first one. Now this is your floor, Mr. Srinivas. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you're loud and clear.
Clear.
Hello.
Yes, your voice is clear.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I shared the presentation.
Yeah, we can see your presentations.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Srinivas. I thank ASSP-KC chapter for giving me this opportunity and Arshad Ayub for his kind words. Today, the topic in our technical meet is process safety aspects of pressure vessel explosion in Loy-Lange incident. The overview of the presentation, I'll take everyone through the fundamentals of BLEVI. Then we'll have a brief incident description, findings of the root cause analysis. Then we will discuss what are the process safety aspects of it. Then we will discuss on the lessons learned and what recommendations we can learn from this incident, and queries and team discussion. Hope you all can hear me. If any issue is there, please right away let me know. I'll try to correct myself. First, we'll start with the fundamentals of BLEVI. BLEVI means it's an acronym for boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion. There are actually, like any fire triangle, we know we need a source of ignition, oxygen, as well as a fuel. Like that, BLEVI also need three fundamental concepts for it to occur. That is, the liquid or a material shall be at its above its boiling point, and it should be in a closed containment where we have under pressurized atmosphere to suppress the boiling, because already the first condition is that it is above its boiling point, so that if you pressurize and keep into containment, followed by there should be a sudden loss of containment. If all these three conditions were met, there is a possible outcome from this loss of containment resulting in BLEVI. Then the next fundamental point one should remember is a BLEVI can involve any liquid stored under pressure at temperatures above its atmospheric boiling point, and the liquid does not need to be flammable or a BLEVI to occur. This is a good point that I would like to emphasize once again. For a BLEVI to occur, the liquid need not to be a flammable one. I have a small video kept here. I request Ramana to kindly share that video so that we can go ahead with the presentation. Ramana?
Ramana, can you pass this, move the slide? Mr. Speaker is
actually, okay, we discussed that. I'll present the video if that is the case. No issues.
When a tank is exposed to sustained heat, such as from a fire, the liquid...
You can hear the voiceover also in the background. Can
yes,
someone
yes, it's clear. It's clear, yes.
Thank you.
In the tank is forced to boil or vaporize, resulting in increased pressure in the tank. To prevent overstressing the tank, the relief device activates, venting the excess pressure. As pressure decreases in the tank, the valve begins to close. With continued heating, pressure again builds, causing the relief valve to reopen. Where flames impinge on the tank below the liquid level, the liquid absorbs the heat, allowing the tank metal to remain at a safe temperature. With continued relief valve operation, the liquid level drops, exposing a greater area of the tank to the effects of heating. With the flames impinging on the vapor space of the tank, the temperature of the tank metal, uncooled by liquid, rises. At some point, due to the vapor pressure from within, the tank metal begins to weaken, stretch, and eventually tear. As the tank comes apart, large quantities of both liquid and vapor are released in a powerful explosion. The heat radiated is sufficient to ignite combustibles and cause burns great distances from the explosion. Tank sections containing rapidly igniting fuel can become flying missiles, traveling great distances, causing secondary fires and other damage. It all happens quickly and with little warning.
Hope you all got the feel of how Levy looks like. It is very intense as you observed from the video. So going ahead with other aspects of fundamentals of Levy, as per the CCPS, which is Center for Chemical Process Safety, a Levy does not require the vessel to be operating above its design pressure. As we all see, the operating pressure of the vessel is clear and it has the PSC which is taking care of it. Still, the Levy can occur. And similarly, we have Levy can occur when the pressure revisors are working correctly. That's what exactly we have seen in the video. And the possible causes of Levy, as we can see from the video, is if the liquid is flammable, it can have flashing liquid and fire. That is one aspect. Other thing is like any other explosion, the blast wave, which has an expansion of vapor, which can knock out the other structures as well. And it can cause a rupture to the lungs and other fatalities. And the third aspect, the possible consequence of Levy is a fragment thrown off a rocketing of vessel pieces. That is we have seen from the video earlier. So already we discussed the fundamentals. Going ahead with the brief process description. This incident happened in USA in a company called Loy-Lange, which is actually into manufacturing corrugated cardboard sheet. Corrugated cardboard sheet is nothing but it has a how we have get the cardboard boxes and all. To make that sheet, they'll press several pieces of paper together to make that cardboard. That is the process. For this, the company uses steam in the corrugation process. This is a brief. We have a process flow diagram, which I tried so that it's better to understand how it works. So to understand the incident in a better way. For steam, like any other company, we need a boiling feed water, a BFW. For that, this particular Loy-Lange company in US is getting the water. It is just I want to make one more point before going ahead into the details. This is a very small company which can on and off this particular facility based on the long holidays and all. It's not like our continuous 24/7 operated facilities that we see in Kuwait mostly. Okay, not a major oil and gas company it is. So keeping that in mind, they get water from the city supply, and they have a water softener as well, and which will go into a makeup water tank, which will act as a surge dump for them in case of any disruption from city water supply. Then they will supply that makeup water. Along with it, there is some chemical injection as well to treat the water, and it will go to one vessel called semi-closed receiver. I'll just go into details of the semi-closed receiver after completing the flow. Once it goes to the semi-closed vessel, it has a connection from the steam header based on the pressure control as well as condensate return. So it is quite preheated in this case. We can see that. And the preheated makeup water will go through the feed water pump to a steam generator. From there, it will go to a steam separator wherever the condensable liquids above saturation one will come out from the drain, and the saturated steam will go to the head of our corrugation process. During the corrugation, steam will lose its latent heat and become condensate, which will come back to the semi-closed receiver. This semi-closed receiver is like our deaerator in our major utility areas of our process plants. In this, it does two purposes. Because of the heat from the steam as well as the condensate, whatever the dissolved oxygen which is cannot be treated by the chemicals can be heated up and it will go to the vent. And this particular SCR, from now onwards, I'll use this term acronym for my ease. SCR has floating with the vent to atmosphere. Any excess or uncondensable gases which are present in the water will go out from this. So with that said, I'll go to the incident description. There are several leaks were observing in this particular facility earlier. And what they used to, they'll go for a quick fix. They'll contact a welding company and then they will arrest the leak. Just before the incident occurs, on 31st March 2017, there is a first leak observed in the same SCR bottom. Like usual, they contacted that regular welding company, which were busy. They were busy. And because of the weekend, they did not investigate much. On the 3rd April, which is the first day, working day of that particular week, unfortunately in the morning, during startup, the particular SCR bottom head catastrophically leaked. And also it was observed from the eyewitnesses that there is a steam plume coming out of the vent, which is from the above that can be observed. And it suggests that there is some process upset as well. Because this is a relatively small facility, there is no historian or which can show operating conditions trend for us. So that is not clearly unknown. Following this catastrophic leak from the SCR, what happened? The levy occurred, and the SCR, the total vessel itself, was launched into the airborne, and it rupturing the roof. It traveled for 10 seconds and fall at a distance of 520 feet. Nearly 4 people were fatally injured. 2 were from this particular Loy-Lange company and 2 from the nearby company. So the CSB, which is a chemical safety board, which like KPC, in case of any incident occurs in Kuwait, KPC does the audit. Like that, they have a CSB in USA. Chemical safety board does a thorough investigation of this particular incident, so that to prevent any reoccurrence and lessons learned. The first thing they observed was SCR was ruptured due to extensive oxygen in the water, makeup water. Pitting corrosion occurred. As we all know, any enhanced DO, dissolved oxygen in the water, because of the high temperature and pressure, it will enhance the corrosion. So that is pitting corrosion due to the DO. That is a primary reason they have identified. Following which, they observed that the water treatment is the cause. That's why they have a dissolved oxygen. The inadequate water treatment is the secondary source they have observed. And also, during the investigation, they found that due to the lack of inspection of the SCR by third party or state authorities or by the company itself, it has resulted in they were unable to identify the thinning or corrosion impacts on the vessel itself. So that is another finding. One more astonishing, which is shocking to most of us, is they were not having any hazard analysis, like hazard and HAZOP were conducted, and they were not aware of need to conduct this particular kind of studies as well. The next finding that that was found was PSV of this particular SCR, what I was described earlier in the process flow, is set more than the MAWP, means maximum allowable working pressure of the SCR. Even though it is identified as a backlog, it is not the cause for incident itself. Also, the workers and other management are not aware of the process safety hazards in handling this particular high pressure steam systems. One more sad finding they did was there were no incidents in the past were investigated. What they want was for a quick fix without thoroughly investigating the root cause. So these are the several findings from CSB. So then, just as I mentioned in the title itself, the investigation findings we will try to correlate with the PSM aspects. So for our better understanding on the process safety management point of view. This here I'm showing the 20 elements from CCPS, which are the almost Bible for anyone, and now it is almost the core aspect of PSM management. Now many companies are starting to adopt this. If you observe from this particular diagram, there are 4 main pillars. One is commitment to safety. The next is understanding hazards and risks, managing the risk, and learning from the experience. I'll not go through one by one of the elements. However, what I will do, I'll connect the findings that we discussed earlier with the relevant elements, and this you can learn from after this particular training. Okay. So below are the PSM elements that shall be emphasized by that particular company or any of the similar companies, so that we can prevent the reoccurrence of similar kind of incidents. First is process safety culture, because we observe that no one is aware of the process safety hazards and there is no PSM or another related activities. So that foundation block 1, commitment to process safety, that they have to enhance first. If the management shows commitment, employees also will learn. That is a behavioral aspect of the culture. So coming to the next one, we were shocked to learn that there are no hazard identification hazard and HAZOP studies were conducted, and they are not aware of the risks and the aspects. So that is another foundation block. The next one is understanding the hazards and risks that has to be done. Once we acknowledge that there are hazards and there is a commitment from the management, then that means a good process safety culture. We will go into the next aspects, that is managing the risk. For that, if you observe the previous element, there are elements called asset integrity and reliability, which will mainly talks about the mechanical integrity aspect of particular equipment. And then next is operating procedures. Before operating or dosing of any of the chemicals which are critical to reduce the DO and prevent the incidents, one has to take additional care that is operating procedure aspect we have to learn from this. And safe work practices. While doing the welding as well as dosing and startup of the thing, one has to take extra care. So that is safe work practices. All these three comes under foundation block managing the risk. Once we have the commitment, we have understood what is the risks and in our thing, and we have learned to manage the risk. Unknowingly or unfortunately, still incidents will happen. So one has to have an open mind and start learning from the incidents and try to correct our action. That is like we have observed, there are no incident investigations from the previous incidents occurred in that particular facility. So that they have to learn from their experience and start doing the incident investigation and make changes in their workflow accordingly. So these are the particular PSM elements that can be emphasized from this particular, specifically from the lessons and investigation findings of this Loy-Lange incident. So with this, I conclude this thing, and the floor is open for team discussion and queries if you have any. Thank you. I think no questions is either too good or too bad.
Sorry, Sadayevji, your voice is not clear. Could you please?
On the boiler incident.
The secretary can take over.
Sorry, I could not hear any thing, maybe due to communication issues, network issues. We can discuss your queries and other points during the chat, and I leave the floor to Ramana. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Srinivas, for your excellent presentation. There was some networking issue. Please bear with us, and our technical head will be coming back, Mr. R. Sadayu. Now it's time to invite our second speaker for today, and we have Mr. Rizwan Ahmed Wankar, who is working with Kent Company as a HSSE commissioning specialist, and his title is presentation on experience sharing boiler trip incident. So we welcome Mr. Rizwan Ahmed Wankar for his presentation today. We will take some question and answer session at the end of this presentation. So when the connectivity is restored, and please post your question if you are having on our chat box. So we will invite Mr. Rizwan Ahmed Wankar for his presentation on boiler trip incident. Ramana? Hello?
Yeah, Sardarji, I'm just
I think there are some issues in the network. That's why. So we can invite to our speaker.
Yes, we understand. Please check Mr. Rizwan connectivity, our second speaker.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. Can you hear me clearly?
Welcome, Mr. Rizwan. We can hear you very well.
Okay, I will share the screen. Can you allow me to share the screen? Actually, it's showing that as disabled participant screen sharing.
Yeah. Because I have done in other one. You have 2-3 names. That's why you are logged into other device. It seems. No problem. I'm doing
Actually,
it.
the network issue. That's why I log out and log in again. Let's.
Yeah, yeah. Done. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry for the interruption. Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm trying to share the screen. Now it's my screen is clear.
Yeah, it's clear, but go to presentation mode, please. Slideshow mode.
My internet connection was with you.
Slideshow mode, there only. You can go to view. Yeah, thank you. Done.
Yes. Good evening to all. I'm glad to give my experience sharing on this platform. Mr. Arshad just give me this opportunity to represent my one of my previous company experience to with all of the guys. Here I'm just here we now introduction about that regarding the boiler trip incident. It is not a big incident, but it's a lesson learned. We are getting some lesson learned from this incident, because most of the time, most normal things, it maybe leads to the major incident. This first slide I just added about the transition phase, because this incident is happen in the transition time. Once the project is handed over to the operation teams or to the client. Can you put first? Can you put first? Okay, thank you. At the time this transition phase, the project teams is handed over this our PTO to the operation team. At this unit is the steam generation unit. They have the 6 boilers, and out of the 6 boilers, they have two of the boiler is electrical operated boilers. They have the dual drive fan electrical motors and steam turbine also. So at the initial stage, the boiler is operated by the electrically, and after it will be stable, it will be run by the steam turbine. So these 2 boiler, they have now planned to start at the stage of this operation starting. So this is a steam generation unit, and at the time of the transition phase, these 2 of the boiler and related to all of the related systems like lead down stations, deaerators, and boiler feed water pumps. This all of the system is handed over to the client, but it is not a complete unit. Is handed over to client. So these boilers and related to their system, it's demarcated. We need to provide the fences that it could be segregate, or it could be separate from the project areas, or the operation areas. So that's why we are just providing some here these 2 of the boiler and this related system. We are implementing some HSE controls by the client side, that this system, if any of the activities, execution of these activities in this zone, so they have to issue their, or they have to follow the procedures from client. They are not follow the procedure which they are before following this in the project team. So identifies there is a 2 boilers. So we are at the stage after the PTO completed these 2 of the boiler. Before the incident, I need to share this information, because of that we need to know about that what the exact condition before the incident of the unit. So these 2 of the boilers and related all the system is demarcated from the project side, and this introduction of the HSC control is under by the care and custodian of the client. So these general guidelines, which is we have the safety of the person as transition occurs from EPC activities to the commissioning and startup. So client is they have the plan to start up of these 2 boilers. The project phase will primarily follows EPC HSC program as they before they are following their own procedures. But the commissioning and startup phase, which is the boilers, 2 of the boilers, more electrical operated, this commissioning has started. Sorry. This commissioning has this commissioning has started of these two boilers, and they start off facing in this area. So at this stage, these two of the boiler 1 and boiler 2, at this stage, these two of the boiler 1 and boiler 2 is already in running condition. They have some approximately 130 or 135 ton per hour. They are producing the steam, and this steam is utilized by the another units at its own units. Also, they have the steam blowing activity and the turbine driven pumps and compressor, which will be driven by this steam. They are providing this steam from the another units. These two boilers, they now in working in progress. So after, can you move second slide? So now this boiler is running smoothly, but operation plan some instrument level transmitter issues on the boiler for the rectification. So after they have the plan for the rectification of the two level transmitter 1 and level transmitter 2, they have the plan to conclude the troubleshooting, which is actually happening in the boiler 2. So EPC previous system owner of boiler carried out with same permitting, because this is the this boiler, these two of the boiler before they have under the care custodian of the project team. So EPC previously system owner of this boiler, they are permitting process to fix the couple level instrument LT1 and LT2 at the steam drum deck. So steam blow started. Because of that, these two of the boiler is started, and in the steam generation unit also they have the steam blowing activity. So due to this inadequate field communication process due to the high noise, so we are recorded of that the noise is approx 125 or 130 degree, 125 and 130 dB is we are recorded this noise. So in this area we can there is a major chances of the communication issues, or we have to follow the hearing protection. So first the EPC this review all of these things and signed by the system owner, and STA was completed. Because of that, this area is under the already PTO'd area, and this area is under by the care custodian by the operation teams. So EPC should be requested this permit system to the EPC, but EPC its own permit system they are using for this to handling of these two LT. So now it is a incident description. Pre-commissioning supervisor were assigned. Already the permit they are issued by the EPC, and after the issuing of the permit, the pre-commissioning supervisor has assigned to repair two non-critical instrument level, as we explained that level transmitter 1 and level transmitter 2 on boiler 2. Boiler 1 is normal running. They are how the work on boiler 2. Once he reached the location, after that he realized that some of the another instrument level, it is LZT3. This is a critical instrument, and decided he himself decided that to start this one first. They have the scope of that. They have to do the activity regarding the LT1 and LT2, but he realized that they have to start first they have to rectify this LZ3, as he analyzed that it is a faulty. To start this one of that, his technician actually he with his technician was a newly hired, position himself on the upper floor. Actually it was the assigned in steam drum deck. This instrumentation waiting for the instruction from the supervisor, who was in a lower level. Supervisor was on lower level, and this technician on top side of the steam drum. So they are these two of the person to execute this activity. The supervisor shouted from the downside, and this technician to give the instruction to the technician that the shut transmitter level transmitter wall LZ3. First we need to explain about that. They have the three transmitter critical level transmitter LZ1, LZ2 and LZ3. LZ3 the supervisor already observed that LZ3 the supervisor already observed that it was a faulty. LZ1 and LZ2 is in line with the operations with boiler 2. So due to inadequate communication, supervisor shouted that the supervisor instructed to the technician that he has to close, or he has to isolate the level transmitter LZ3. But due to the improper communication, and technician proceed to shut the wrong level transmitter wall LZ1. So which is activated the protection function of the boiler 2. As we explained that LT1 and LT2 were in operation, but LT3 was faulty. This boiler is operating with these two LZT1 and LZT2. But due to the improper communication, this technician is shut the level transmitter LZ1. Now only the LZ2 is in line with the boiler operation, which is activated the protection function of the boiler 2. Hence the boiler was tripped. Since the logic is if signal is lost in 2 out of 3 transmitter, the boiler will protect itself. As we know, LZ1 is isolated by the technician, LZ3 is already faulty, and only the boiler running with the LZT2. That's why its logic, if signal is lost from the 2 of the transmitter, the boiler will protect itself. This is not any big incident about that, but it is one of the my experience that I need to share, that because of sometimes it's normal incident also, it will be leads to the major hazards, or it will be leads to the major incidents. So the production delays, maybe it will be 24 hours, approximately 24 hours to boiler to comes in stable conditions as per its temperature near about 450 degrees centigrade and the pressure 61 bar. So it will be take a 24 hours. At this stage, they delay the production. So after this incident, the CCR received the trip alert and preliminary incident investigation that started. So there are the root cause of this incident. Basically, first is communication, because the voice, because of this noise level is very high, approximately 125, 120, or 130 dB. So due to high noise environmental, the steam blows itself in the boiler unit, steam generation unit. This affected proper communication is failed and inadequate communication between supervisor and technician in noisy environment. This is the first root cause, that the supervisor was telling something and the technician was done by something. So second root cause, it's the procedures. Actually, this 2 of the boilers and their system is already PTO'd from project to the operation. That's why the working beyond the scope of first from the procedure is that working beyond scope of the work, LZ3 was not a part of his assigned job that shift, because of they are issuing the permit from the EPC side to rectification or to attend the troubleshooting of the LZ1 and LT1 and LT2. But at the condition from the supervisor, he avoid to work on that LT1 and LT2. Instead of that, he started work on the LZ3, which is the critical level transmitter. So this is the first root cause of from the procedure. Second is EPC pre-commissioning didn't request the client PTW for the troubleshooting activities in the area recently PTO. Definitely the EPC has to give this information to the operation. They have to issue the permit from the operation, and after that they have to execution of this activity, because this is the operation owned area. So operation give the permission before starting of any execution from the EPC or any contractor. So after that, the third root cause is training. Supervisor and technician is not trained as per the client training matrix to work in the PTO area, because PTOs, after the PTO, our care custodian by the operation, they have set some elements regarding this area demarcations and work permit system, evacuations. Sometimes is the emergency, who will be the attend the emergency in the training matrix. This all the different from the project. So this training both of the person should be trained from the client side. Technician has newly joined the project, now familiar. This is not a familiar to the system and the work environment. The supervisor have the prime responsibility to assign this some of the activity or some this clearly inform this super technician to elaborate. He has to elaborate the activity to the technician regarding their work. Now recommendation, after the completion of this incident, we are recommended some from the EPC side, their hazard identification study shall be carried out if they work inside this commissioning owned area and operation owned area. They have to hazard identification, some of the critical activity if they want to work inside the area. Sometimes they have to issue the risk assessment also. It should be from the operation side, and it is execution to the execution party. So EPC to request client PTW as per the HSSE transition plan, because this area owned by the operation. So EPC to request client PTW to issue the permit for this area. EPC to improve their work package permitting process detailing affected subsystem, because we are see that this supervisor getting a permit to rectify or to attempt the LT1 and LT2, but instead of that, these two level transmitter, they are attempting the LZ3. LZ3, this is not a scope of the work, but still they are from own side. Actually, he has to get the permit for this activity separately, and then after he will be started this activity to enforce standard communication terminology to the follow, because they know about that the noise, this environment is completely noisy environment. So before starting of the activity, they have to know that, or they have to give some criteria about the communication system. It will be 3 communication system, or the supervisor should be give the briefly about the technician that which wall they have to isolate, or which level transmitter they have to isolate. Client PTO areas under and new requirement to be enforced TBT. At the time of the TBT as TA, the supervisor, they have to explain about the work activity execution, what they are going to start. EPC to complete client PTW training, they have to first complete it. If they are required, they have to complete their client PTW trainings and refresher as they needed. Client to control access PTO fence area. Actually, the one of the things from the client side also, if they are already this area is already demarcated. So from the client side, some of the person or any of the things that the unauthorized person cannot be enter inside the demarcated area, because it's a client fencing area. And if anybody want to inside, they have to give the permission from the operation as per the PTW, or if any of the person go want to visit the site also, they have to give the permission from the security or some person, client operation person. Client pre-commissioning to consistently share the requirement by conducting meeting, because daily basis they have to conduct the meeting, and they have to share their work schedule with their client and the EPC. Client to countersign to EPC PTW, because this area is because this two section of this one unit, one is the project fence and one is the operation fence or client fence. So they have to sometime if they are working around the operation area, if they are working around the commissioning area, even though it is not inside the fence area, but if outside of the fence area and the project from the project side, they have to do some critical activity, they have to, so they are using their own permit system, but they has to take the signature from the operation side. That's the operation team, they are know about that there are some critical activity around their area. So this is the recommendation, and this is the one small I'm just sharing my info, just sharing my experience with you. Because of that, most of the things, if the working area is completely under construction, or if the working area completely under the operation, so there is no any interchanging the hazards, but it is the different thing that if partially is handed over, partially is not handed over, that's why they are hazard it interchanger. Maybe the hazard is interchangeable from the sometime the commissioning team, they are exposed to the construction hazards, and the construction team exposed to the commissioning hazards. So we have to know, ensure about that is any of the things which is will happen. So we have to avoid a simultaneous operation. Thank you very much for giving me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rizwan, for sharing your experience. It was really a nice presentation. And also, I would like to thank Srinivas. I think I lost my connection in between the beginning. Srinivas, mashallah, you have shared a great video about the levy, and then you described the incident, and you compared the root causes with the PSM elements. It was really a nice presentation. And finally, you have given the recommendations. Also, Rizwan, it was really nice to hear from both of you. Now the floor is open for question and answers. If any of the participants they have any questions, please go ahead.
Mr. Arshad, just one request. We have some of the participants. Also, we have office staff, Mr. Ramna. He will just take few minutes to say something about the channel, YouTube channel subscription. Just Mr. Ramna.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, thank you, dear Mr. Abulefam, for the opportunity. I have already requested all the participants to subscribe to our channel. And once again, I'm requesting you to subscribe. The link is already posted in the chat box. I request everyone to, again, I'm posting, just click on the link and subscribe. It will help us to do more such events which will be helpful for all the participants. Okay. That is my request. Okay. Thank you very much. And Mr. Ifam, there are few participants raised their hands. Please take care.
Yes. We have Mr. Ram here, and as a question or any suggestions he would like to share can be shared with us.
Yes, thank you, Rizwan. Both the presenters were really excellent, and thank you for giving us eye-opening presentation and deliverables. And we learned a lot through you. I just have a question for the Rizwan. Thank you, Rizwan. Wonderful. And today also, I'm surprised to note that without plant orientation, permit to work, supervisor involved along with the technician to open and bypass the procedures recommendations was excellent. My question to you is, was there any process engineer or only limited to supervisor and a technician? And if it is, how and when did they discover such issue with the critical equipment handling? The I think LZ3 was malfunctioning, and LZ1 was closed. And as per your design process, if any of it fail, one will automatically work. But usually what happens in the design process is, however, technically speaking, any of the relief wall or PRVs we are talking about, are there any? Because I have not seen any of the, in a design process, I have not seen explaining the full flow chart or a diagram. Can you give some information on that, Mr. Rizwan?
Yes, actually this related about PSV is already there, but is related to the level transmitter, and they have system design as per the we go through about that the system that if LZ1, LZ2, and LZ3 they have three critical transmitters. So if around out of the three, if two of that now not in working and not in line, so it is automatically startup. Actually, this is the incident which is happening startup of the boiler. Once they started completed, maybe within a month, something like that, they are starting the activities. So there are awareness from the project side also. They don't have any much awareness about that things. So that's why this regarding this level transmitter, the critical level transmitter, LZ1, LZT1, LZT2, and LZT3, they have the design like that. If both out of three, if both of that is not in working or not in line with the boilers, so it is automatically their safety system will be activated, and it was the shutdown.
Perfectly well, I understood. The only question I have is, without having the plant orientation, how did a supervisor and a technician as a new employee runs and work on the critical equipment? What procedure actually we are following it with regard to the PSM later as per your recommendation?
Actually, this area is owned by the this area is owned by the client area. So after that, they are implemented about that. If any activities before that, this some of the confusion or awareness, there are lack of the awareness from the project to they have to project activities. They think about that this all area is ours, or maybe they have to aware. There are less awareness about that the permit system, because it's newly implemented, because this is the first PTO from the project that it is handed over, and that's why this is the first time we have to implement it of the systems or implementation of the safety system in this area. So they are the supervisor and technician, they are very less awareness due to they were just enter inside this our project fence area, because one of the recommendation I mentioned that they don't have any security system also, that unauthorized person cannot go enter inside. Enter inside.
Yes,
so that's why they both of
Thank
the person go enter inside and they work.
Thank you.
We have another participant here as a questions. You can move further, so we can give some time slot to other participants also. So Mr. Hamza raised the hand, please.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum all senior members. Actually, my question is a part to our topic. I just I want to say that I'm a junior engineer in Bachelor of Science in Mechanical. I just see that there is a major gap between all the seniors and newcomers, juniors, basically engineering department. They still don't know how to join the basic company and what is the basic procedure, what should be they choose in the industry. So that's why they are going to other industry like that, manufacturing. So is there anything platform that guide junior engineers how to join oil and gas industry and other oil and gas sectors? So kindly, if there is a little presentation or little topic toward this point.
Mr. Hamza, your question is completely out of the topics what we are discussing. This is a general question. I really appreciate your time for the question, but however, we will do it after the end of the session in the networking. Okay, please wait for us, and Mr. Ramana will provide you on this. Do we have any? Do we have any other questions, please? Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Rakib.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening to everyone. My question is that, sir, when it is the mid of the plant, when the project is almost going to be complete and the maintenance or the operation team is going to be take over these things, means whatever the plant we are going to doing under the process or going to be in the operation. So how to tackle these two in between in the mid of this certain tension or this period, sir? Because it happened always and always. Then the project team is and the maintenance or the operation teams need to be coordinate or to become under the one umbrella. How we can go ahead with these things, sir? Is it clear, sir, my question?
Yeah, your question is clear, and again it's okay. Rizwan, will you answer the question, or shall I go ahead?
Arshad, if you permit, I can answer for his question. Arshad?
Yes, Muruganji, go ahead, please. Thank you.
So that's why, in the PSM, we have a lot of elements. Example, the pre-startup safety review is there, either in the small shutdown or in the initial plan going to start up in the first time. That time, the pre-startup will help to conduct a lot of coordination meeting and arrangements. It will ensure that the function test, the function test and all other the tests will be conducted in the early stages. That will help to avoid this kind of issues there. Thank you.
Thank you, Muruganji. Thank you for your exact answer to the question how to hand over the project after construction to the operating team. That's the right answer. Thank you, Muruganji. Thank you. I think we are on the exact time. I would first of all once again I would like to thank the speakers. Ramna, can you please go to the next slide? Yeah, now the floor is for the self-introduction of new members. Ramna, can you please take on from this now? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Arshad ji. Now we can ask the new members to introduce themselves. Like we are receiving from many international participants from all over the world, so that's why it's better to introduce always. Okay, so anyone would like to introduce, you can unmute yourself and start introducing. Otherwise, I will ask one by one. Okay. Mr. Abdullah Inam, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So first of all, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. Myself Abdullah Inam. I am from Bihar. I have completed diploma in civil engineering from Jamia Millia Islamia, and I have worked as civil supervisor at the German infrastructure for almost 5 years. And besides that, I have also done a 6-month program in fire and safety management and industrial safety as well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Abdulliam.
That's all
How do
about
you
me.
come to
Thank
know
you.
about our event?
What, sir?
How did you get the info about our event?
From group.
Through WhatsApp group?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you for participating. And okay, shall I ask Mr. Saeed Ahmed to introduce?
Yes, sir. I'm Saeed from this Dr. I'm a member of this ASSP.
Your voice is not clear, Mr. Saeed Ahmed.
Sir, I'm Saeed from GC Hariwadi, sir. Dorsal. I'm working in this QC Northwell.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Is it the first time you are attending, or you have earlier you attended earlier as well?
Hello?
Is it the first time you are attending our event?
No. Earlier, sir. Earlier, sir, I was attended, sir.
Okay, thank you.
It's the second time, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And okay, I'll come back to you. Before that, I would like to ask all of you to participate in the online quiz, so that because it will take some time to announce the quickly answered winners. That's why I request you to participate in the online quiz. Okay. Just a minute. Later, we'll continue the introduction session.
And also, who will be the participating? He will get the certificate at the end in their email IDs, right, Ramna?
Yeah. Yes. Those who are.
Shall I post a link, Ramnaji?
Just a minute. I already typed it. Okay, link is posted now. I request everyone to click on the link and answer the few questions, and it will follow the feedback session as well. Once you finish that one, the form will be submitted, and we will announce the quickly answer winner. Okay. In the meantime, we can continue the networking as well. Those who wants to introduce, you can open your mic and introduce. New
Request all
members.
of you to kindly, open the quiz and try to attempt. They are very interesting one, and you will enjoy giving answers. Apart from this, those who will attempt will get attendance certificate on their mail ID, and the winners will be declared here, inshallah. So the one who is giving fastest and most right answers will be chosen as a winner, and accordingly winners will be decided. So once again, request all of you to attempt. It will take maybe 1 minute, not more than that, or 2-3 minutes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Majarji. We can continue networking as well. This is the networking and as well as the introduction session. We can continue both together because we'll be having less time afterwards. That's why we can continue for another 3 minutes.
I think everyone is, busy with the quiz. If anyone is there who is joining first time and would like to introduce yourself after completing this questions, you're most welcome.
There was one general question also through Mr. Hamza. If
Mhm.
he can get some answer.
Let's read
Hamza is
out
there,
on
Mr.
the-
Hamza.
One more is there in the chat box. Mr. Adnan Dawar, I think someone, please check the chat box also, Mr. Abul Afam.
Yes, Ramana, now I suggest to go ahead with the self-introduction of the new members rather than going back with question and answers. Okay, please.
Arshad sir, there is one question with Mr. Dore in the chat box. Can take that if possible.
Yeah, this is related to second presentation. This one only has to answer because this was experience sharing on his project, what has happened. So he has to say whether override was available or not. This one, can you answer to that question, please?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
The question is, the gentleman is saying that when you work on any transmitter, you can carry out the override so that you can prevent the trip. In your scenario of the boiler, that override was available or not? That's what his question.
The override is not available. Actually, they have the platform. Actually, they are make the temporary platform.
Yeah, that's what the question is. Okay, thank you, Rizwan. Ramana, you got the answers?
Okay, yeah, we are going to announce 3 winners. It's ready. Okay, after the felicitation, the winners will be declared. Please go ahead, Riaz. Arshadevji, please take. Thank you, Mr. Rizwan ji, for your excellent presentation. It was wonderful, and we hope more presentations from you in the upcoming days. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
As a token of appreciation, we will be sending this certificate to you, which was signed by our president.
Thank you, Rizwan. Thank you for your precious time and the great presentation on your experience sharing.
Thank you for you all guys of giving me the opportunity on this platform.
Thank you, Srinivas. It was a nice presentation and knowledge gaining. And thanks for your time and thanks for the great presentation. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead,
Yes.
Ria.
Yes.
Ilana.
Yes, Ramana and Ria, please go ahead.
Thank you, Ria. Thank you, Mr. Jasser Romani. You got the quickest answers in the quickest time. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Muruganandam ji, thank you very much for participation. Just
Thank
a
you,
few
thank you.
seconds. You know, due to some technical issues, maybe it will happen. Otherwise, you could be in the first position. Thank you. Thank you for participating. Thank you, Mr. Ghulam Khalid, for participating, and it was a quickest time. I request everyone to participate in the quiz, which will help you to develop your knowledge. Which it's like a review when you are participating in the quiz.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And this link will be posted in the YouTube as well, but there won't be any certificate for attending the quiz. But the quiz link will be available, and the answers.
Your voice is not clear. I think maybe there is some network issue.
My voice not clear.
Thank you very much. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you all for attending today. This is Mr. Safdar Ali Khan, Vice President. Thank you for your time and participation for Process Safety Meeting 25 event today. A special thank to two speakers, Mr. Srinivas, PSM Engineer from KIPIC, and Mr. Rizwan Ahmed Wankar, HSSE Commissioning Specialist. And tiring effort by PSM committee head and their members for this such wonderful event and arranging such a wonderful event. Sometimes we have a technological issue like networks break during the presentation or presentation did not started. So thank you for bearing the patience with us to be a part of this learning. You all as an attendee are encouraged to take part in PSM related presentation if you wish to. Our mentors available here can guide us to develop you and shape your presentation. Please come forward with the theme and some lesson related to process safety management. Those who has missed our session part in the startup, they can still see our presentation on SSP Kuwait page. Big thank to our EC committee, especially our president, secretary, treasurer, and some of the advisory member. I have seen it. And a special mention to Mr. Devan Katecha sir and Asok Gallapati sir and Sunil Sadanand sir for participating and patronizing this event. Other mention that committee heads who has made it themselves present to this wonderful event. So this is all from our EC Kuwait chapter, and thank you for your participation. Now this meeting officially is closed by this time, and we will like to hear some feedback. We have some more time. Some our mentor, and then the meeting will be open for networking purpose. Those who are first time here and want to know more about how to do this networking, where we can do. So can we hear something from Devin Katecha, sir? We are hearing you from a long time. Say a few words for today's event, sir. Okay, I think he has lost connection. Can we hear something from Ashok Gallapati, sir, for today feedback? Okay, if not there, then I will invite Mr. Sunil Sadanand if he is around us. That's fine. Okay, we can understand that in a startup, it was very encouraging. We have sometimes more than 90 plus. Okay, if Mr. Amir Rasid is there, thank you, Mr. Amir Rasid, for your presentation, for participation today. Can we have a word of encouragement for the speaker and other participant today? Mr. Amir Rasid. Okay, no problem. Once the connectivity will be restored, we will invite them. In meantime, if someone is coming forward, then well and good. Please look for.
We have some of our head committees also, if they want to say something.
Any committee head or deputy are present, please give your feedback for improving our this presentation, or how can we involve more people in this. We are very encouraged and thank to all the feedback and constructive feedback given by many of the participants, those who are new, and very good. This help us to work harder on developing something more and engaging this event along. Like this was some of this feedback. Thank you. It was great presentation. Alpesh Modi, thanks to all, and Srinivas Ganti, who was a speaker, he was also giving thanks for giving opportunity and kind words. Pleasure is mine. Then one gentleman has said that he cannot attended the quiz and feedback due to network problem. No problem, sir. Be a part of this journey, and definitely you will be able to see more on this. Few new event. We are having more congratulatory messages. Then Mr. Khijar Hayat is also said that it was tremendous. Even this is something, a constructive feedback. It helps us to go a long way. So Mirza Mustaq Mirza is there. Mr. Mustaq Mirza, who is head of our one. Yeah.
And very good evening to all of you. Congratulations to PSM team for this excellent presentation. Really, I appreciate their work. Special thanks to Mr. Sadayub for the selection of such a good presenter. From the beginning, I checked, the participation of the members reached above the 85, 85 to 82. Mashallah, it was a big number. And congratulations to all the, EC members, president, vice president, and all of you for, the arrangement of such a good platform for our members to enhance their PSM knowledge. Keep continue and good luck, all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mustaq Mirza, for appreciating the effort by this process safety committee effort. And there was a message from Amir Rasid. His mic cannot be connected, but he has appreciated the EC members' effort and PSM committee for doing excellent effort. Thank you all for this wonderful evening, and we will be having some more session. Please join us every third of Wednesday. And now the floor is open for networking purpose. And thank you again for participating. Ramana, please take the floor and for networking purpose who are there with us. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Again, we have to request our participants, if they forget to subscribe our channels, YouTube channels, please, you are encouraged to subscribe it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
dear.
you, our secretary, Mr. Abul Efam, and Mr. Ramana and Mr. Riaz for the excellent way to handle the entire program. Thank you, Habib. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ajay. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you.
If a secretary permit, we can close, I think.
Yeah, if anyone would like to talk, it's a networking opportunity. You can open your mic and talk. Otherwise, we'll close the session if no one is there.
Okay, thank you, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, yes, we'll close then.
Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.